Back at Nantwich. Leg gutter going in today. Let's get on with it. No dilly-dallying. I've already started putting it in. Didn't get a chance to film this morning. Had meetings and everything. And little lad was cracking on with this. Here's the star of the show. Hey. So what we've done, we put these T-Pren joints in. We're just cutting back and joining into the neighbouring leg gutter there. Cleaned it all out. Nicely. So, into the gutter. That's going to get welded in a minute. This is next section. We've already put this in. And you can see here, what I've done is I've just squeezed it round, dropped it into the gutter, and managed to find a beautiful piece of wood that fits nicely into the gutter. So all I'm doing now is just dressing this gutter down into here. We're going to have excess to chop off top and bottom, but let's get bashing some lead again. It's always a good place to be. Just going to put a bit of heat in it as well. Just helps this lead mould into this gutter. And it's a cold day. Drop that in there. Start heating. What we don't want to do is end up pulling this out too far and that out too far, because when we drive this gutter down, I want it to pull this both sides of this material down and not stretch the bottom of the lead. So that's why this is so tight up there, so it's all getting seated down into the bottom of the gutter. Yeah, go on. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put an extension piece. This is a 1.5 metre length, but we're about 300mm short. So I'm just going to weld this little extension piece on. And then we've got 80mm upstand on the gutter. So I'm going to form that and weld that now before we put it in. It'll just be miles easier than trying to lead weld in that tiny little corner to put a little stop end in for the gutter. If we form it now, it's done, and we can just dress it around. From there, just going to weld this up, and then just so little lad knows exactly what a good lead weld looks like. Ooh, that hurt. Cut deep. Some of that mixture. Forgot to press record. Anyway, got a bit of it. Just going to draw on this now, the square from my gutter. Then I can cut these sides back to fold down. Just need to find the middle, which is 250. And then we've got 60, what is it, 60mm. So 30 each side for the gutter. Then 80mm down. Might do it at 90. So that's going to be the back of the gutter. We just need to fold this up now. We'll just chop to roughly 45s down here. This corner point. So what I've done is just fold it in half here now. Then all I'll do, just stamp on it. Just fold that in so it'll fit in the gutter. So just dress this bottom square in as much as I can. Push, push, push.
That's it.
Is it right up to that back?
Yeah. Yeah, bottom will be, just want the dressing back.
There we go, third piece in, and that little upstand in the back there. Got to chop all this excess off here. Little lad just prepping up that joint so they can weld it onto that T-Pren. Then we'll do this one. I'm thinking we're going to get this done like in a day. I always think day, hour's job that. Yeah, no, so we're stopping down here today, I think, because we've got this to do, and then we've still got that outlet to sort out, which I'm going to have a go at soon. Max and Lucas are in way as normal. I've just made this beautiful sleeve that's going to slot over that outlet there, because that's too short, is that. So eventually that's going to slot up there so that we've got a decent flow down into the gutter. I'm just going to make now a little capping piece to go over this T-Pren joint that'll come down to here, and we'll weld some tabs on to hold it in place. This is the problem when we're doing lead working in the rain. Everything just gets wet. Just makes life twice as hard work.
Get it, all
Just want to make a couple of 2-inch straps as well. Little lad's welded that up. It's got water in it, it's fine. Just welded that one up. Next job I want to do is just dress this front edge down flat all the way across, and we'll also dress this back edge into this, just so that we get the profile of the gutter. Now we've got this lead down to this point, what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down here, and we'll get it kind of sitting flat, and then we'll cut the excess off all the way down, and then just nip it into there for the last bit. Oh, hit my thumb. Oh, my thumb again. It's a bit sunnier today. Got the gutter in last night and cut the front edge off. We're just welding up these caps now. These are the caps that we've made, and these just sit over there, and it just protects that T-Pren joint there. I'm going to cut this back after and put a flashing over this one. I've just welded on tab there, a tab at this side, and I'm just going to weld 2 tabs coming down as well, so then these will sit on and they won't fall off. Yeah, right up to that weld if you can. That's all this one on here as well. Not bad, the tape right. Right. So now, mate, these, because everywhere we've welded the T-Pren joints, got these standards right in where there's one here, and then on this other one, standard right in the way. Bloody nightmare it is. We always get our jobs, boys. Anyway, we'll get these up, folded up, cut up, and they'll look sweet.
$100,000, don't they? Well, the only reason they were starving, they made it. I don't think it was.
Yeah. There we go, all done, clipped up. We'll get this other one done. Nose dripping weather. All the gutters in now. Just show you these tops cappings that we've done. So that's one capping. We've just cut this other flashing back as well now. What we're going to do in joinery shop, we're just making a fillet that we're going to screw onto these timber uprights, and it's going to have a little taper on it and then a little rebate for this lead to sit in. That'll get slapped against there and it'll probably flash down. I think it's 50mm down to about here somewhere, and yeah, it'll just come out, and then we'll render it into these panels. We'll seal it against here. You can see here where lads have been putting some Stockholm tar and oakum in the joints. These are the cappings from the bottom side, in and done. We've just dressed this in because we had that 2 different hearts there. I were thinking of putting something down here, but I'm just going to leave it. It's more honest like that. Capping on there, and we've just put this outlet in and welded it up onto the original outlet now. So this is going to run out into this gutter from that roof. Mark's cheat, I'm not even going to touch that. What we've got here is oakum, and it's been saturated in Stockholm tar, and it smells delightful. It's lovely. Right. So what we're doing with this is packing all the joints on the timber frame. What we've been doing is packing it in here, and it'll allow expansion, contraction, but it'll seal the joints. So it's like a rope, if you will, and it's hammered in down here. So yeah, it just seals all the joints. Right, this one down here will get done because it's so thin. We'll just wedge it in there, shove it in as deep as we can into that joint and pack it in tight. Same with this one. We've now done the daub on these panels. We've put a lime render on there as a base coat and a float coat, and John's now just putting the top coat on. So this is silica sand, lime. We have put a little bit of fibre in with it as well, and we'll leave this to go off for the next 4 or 5 days over the weekend, and then these are going to get a silicate paint on them. We've already done here the linseed oil paint on this. I think this is the second coat we've had on here. So next week we'll get the whole thing done and repainted. What are you doing, Max?
What am I doing?
You don't know what you're doing, do you?
Well, I'm bringing this back to flush the inside of the tenons of these, so I can put a new piece over it. But all of this below it is gonna rot. So I'm gonna be doing a new post repair from underneath here down to there. It's gonna have a mortise for my new plate repair I have there. And
Oh yeah, it's fairly gone, hasn't it?
And then the brickwork is going to go underneath that plate repair and then hold the weight again. And then we'll do the shop front.
See, Max knows what he's doing.
I'd like to think so.
Going to be a busy week here next week. Scaffolding's down on Friday. We've got bird netting to go up as well next week. Still got to finish off upstairs and then get this prepped and finished and painted in 4 days next week. So busy week for these boys. But that's it. Wrapping it up. Catch you later.